Alrighty. Week 14 NFL picks. Let's go. Last week I went 13-3. Probably could have been 15-1, but I picked a couple upsets. Didn't work out for me, and that's alright. But we'll get things started with Thursday night. Green Bay Packers going into Detroit to play the 11-1 Detroit Lions. Lions, of course, having a lot of defensive injuries. Kind of left that game with the Bears a little close, and the Packers, Thanksgiving night, spanked the Dolphins, in all honesty. This one is a tough game, a lot of implications for seeding and whatnot. I do think both these teams are going to make the playoffs. Oh, man, this is tough. But I think I'm going to go with the Packers. And the reason I'm going to go with the Packers, there are a couple reasons. One, as I said before, the Lions are really banged up. I think they have, probably 1 million players on IR. Not an exaggeration either. And for some reason, the Packers, they play really well in December. I think they've maybe only lost one time with Matt LaFleur as the head coach in December. Maybe twice, if that. For some reason, the Packers play really well in December. So I'm going to go with the Packers to get the upset on the road. Plus, this is kind of giving the same vibes as last year. Lions crushed them in Lambeau Field in week 4 or 5. Later that year, I think it was on Thanksgiving, the Packers come into Detroit, spank the Lions. I'm getting that same vibe here. So give me the Packers, give me the upset. And moving on to Sunday, we've got the Jets and the Dolphins. Woo boy. The Jets are just a complete mess right now. I'm going to have to take the Dolphins. I mean, Tua, he looked good last week. I think he had 340 some passing yards, somewhere around there, despite the loss. The loss was not on him. He was kind of getting hit all day long. I think the Dolphins are going to get this win against the Jets. It's at home. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won, but if the Dolphins are going to make a run, they're going to have to start it now. And starting off against the Jets at home, I think it's a very winnable game. Falcons-Vikings, I also find rather intriguing. It is the Kirk Cousins revenge game after all. Falcons, of course, have been very flat recently. Lost last week. Kirk Cousins looked really bad in the loss against the Chargers. The Vikings came back in that game against Arizona. I didn't think they would do it, but they did. Proved me wrong. And the Vikings, I keep waiting for that game where the Vikings show me, yes, that's why you can't trust this team. But for some reason, they haven't this year. And I don't know if it's just because they have good coaching. I think that's part of it. I don't know if it's because they have a lot of things being masked with the defense. I think that's also part of it, but they just haven't shown me that. Which is why I'm going to go with the Falcons. I don't know. I think the Falcons know that they have to win this game. And I think because of that, I think they're going to go out and they're going to play well. Kirk is going to play well. He knows the Vikings better on that team, better than anyone on that team. So give me the Falcons. It is being played in Minnesota. No, you know what? I'm just going to stick with it. We're going with Atlanta. Getting the upset again. The Saints and the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants win this game, but I can't trust them for anything right now. I have to go with the Saints. I mean, the thing with the Saints is that I think they have talent on that team. It just, hasn't come together as at once. Some days the defense plays well and the offense sputters. Some days the offense plays well and the defense sputters. It just has not come together as one for this team since the first 2 weeks. But I think this is a week where they can get right after that loss to the Rams, and I'm going to go with the Saints in this one. I don't know if it'll be particularly close either, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants won. Anyways, moving on. We got the 3-9 Panthers going up against the 10-2 Eagles. Give me the Eagles. I mean, I'm sorry, Panthers. You've looked better. You've looked so much better. But I cannot, in good faith, pick you to beat, right now, one of, if not the best team in the league. Moving on, we've got the 3-9 Browns going up against the 9-3 Steelers. Browns coming off of a shootout loss on Monday Night Football to the Broncos. Steelers, of course, had that shootout win over the Bengals on Sunday. Of course, you already know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Steelers. They're at home. I know the Browns beat them literally less than 2 weeks ago, but the thing with the Steelers is that they always do that. They always play down the competition, so I know this game is going to be close at the very least, but I do expect the Steelers to come away with the win. Next, you've got the 2-10 Raiders versus the 6-6 Buccaneers. Give me the Buccaneers. The Raiders are just so lousy. They're such a bad team. Aiden O'Connell, though, did play well last week. Maybe there's some promise there. I don't really believe it, but we'll see. Tampa's defense isn't the best, so maybe he'll have a good game again. But give me the Buccaneers. I think whether or not Baker Mayfield is healthy, I think the Buccaneers should be able to win. And it seems like Baker is going to play. He came back in that game last week. Next, we've got the 2-10 Jaguars versus the 3-9 Titans. We've got a tank bowl. I don't know if Trevor's going to play. And as a result of no Trevor, no winning. Give me the Titans. It'll be close, probably, because, divisional games are weird like that. But give me the Titans. 7-5 Seahawks going into the 6-6 Arizona Cardinals. Oh, this is so difficult to predict. But I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals. And it's nothing against the Seahawks. I think they're a well-coached team. I know the Cardinals their offense at least has sputtered the last 2 weeks, but I think they can get it. I think they can get right here against Seattle. But we'll see. I'm picking the Cardinals to win this game. I would not be surprised if I'm wrong. 10-2 Bills going into the 6-6 Rams. Man, I'm so high on the Rams. I'm really high on the Rams. I really want them to make the playoffs because I love Sean McVay. I think he's an absolute genius. I think he can meld even every ounce of talent he can squeeze out of you. But I don't think it's going to happen against the Bills. The Rams have too many question marks. The Bills look like an absolute juggernaut. Josh Allen is playing out of his mind. Give me the Bills. But I will be rooting for the Rams because I really, really want them to do well. Next, we've got the 4-8 Bears versus the 5-7 49ers. Oh, boy. The Bears firing Matt Eberflus after a total butchering of the game clock there on Thanksgiving. And I think Bear fans are very thankful that he is no longer there to hurt the team with his poor management of the team and whatnot. The 49ers, their season is kaput, unfortunately. I mean, they lost Christian McCaffrey for the season. Jordan Mason is now on IR. It's not a good look. As for who I'm going to pick, Thomas Brown took over for head coaches of the Bears. Give me the 49ers. And the only reason I'm taking the 49ers is because of Kyle Shanahan. I think Shanahan is going to lead this team to a win, one way or another. Next, we've got the 8-4 Chargers going into Kansas City to face the 11-1 Chiefs. Oh boy, another tough one. I expect this game to be at least a little low scoring, maybe like a 20-17 type of game. Give me the Chargers. I'm feeling the Chargers. The Chiefs, they've gotten away with too many close games, too many coincidental wins. Of course, the fumble at the end of last week barely escaped the Panthers. I think the Chargers are just playing better football right now. And as a result, I'm going to go with the Chargers to get the upset. And I will completely understand if I am wrong on this pick. And in all honesty, I'm kind of expecting it. But give me the Chargers. I think they're going to win. Next, we've got the 4-8 Bungles versus the 5-7 Cowboys on Monday Night Football. The Bungles, once again, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase playing out of their minds. Just not enough to beat the Steelers, unfortunately for them. The Cowboys, hey, you beat the Giants. That's something. But I don't think you'll be able to beat the offense of the Bungles. I think the Bungles are just going to be able to score too many points, and I don't think Cooper Rush can keep up with the high-powered Bungles offense. So those are my picks. Take it to the bank. Have a great week.